Do you believe in a woman being submissive? Are you a feminist? Same thing. Do you believe that men and women are equal?
Just text, I know it's a toss up, but I hate the fact that we lost touch. The Uber pulling up on call.
Hi lovely ladies, and welcome back to my channel. I am Naomi Robinson, for all of you that know me, and this is the Diary of Naomi. And today's video is going to be a bit different. Today's video is going to be like a question and answer. I put it out in some of my socials that I was looking for some questions to do a question and answer video. So today I'm going to be answering about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 questions. So this is more of a relaxed video. I've got my herbal tea here. I'm just going to sip and answer. So the first question, are you a feminist? I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in feminism, to be honest. And the reason I say that is because I believe that if you fight for feminism, that means that you want to play both roles, basically. You want to play the male and the female. And what I find in feminism, what I've found is I find that feminism or feminists are a bit hypocritical. Because in one sense, they want to be seen as men are seen, but then in other ways, they want a man to treat them how a woman should be treated. So you have to pick your fight. You can't want both. You either allow a man to be a man and you to be the woman, and you stay in your lane, let him stay in his lane. You do what you have to do as a woman and let him do what he has to do as a man. If you want to be equal, then yeah, you can be equal to a man, but then you can't expect a male to carry out certain needs of yours, if you understand what I mean. I just don't believe in feminism, because I feel like a lot of people who are feminists, they contradict themselves in so many ways. I think there's so much contradictions in feminism, and I feel like it's fighting a fight where, I'm not saying that everyone shouldn't have equal rights, but you have to realise that we're not the same. Men and women are not the same. We have different strengths and different weaknesses. Men have strengths in certain ways and women have strengths in certain ways, and just because something is more favourable for a man, or seen more favourable for a man, doesn't take away from you being a woman, because there's things that are more favourable for women that are not for men. And that's why you see so many men wanting to be women now. A lot of people see that things are more in a woman's favour than there are in a man's favour. I'm not a feminist, and I don't believe in feminism. I just believe that a woman should be a woman, a man should be a man. There's certain things that men do, there's certain things that women do, and that's it. I'm not saying we shouldn't get the same pay rates and stuff like that. Feminists fight for things like equal pay, but they fight for a lot of other things as well, which I just don't agree with. But equal pay, I would say, yeah. Something like that, I would say, yeah. Like, I understand why you will fight for having equal wages, because at the end of the day, a woman's brain strength can be just as strong as a man's brain strength. But in other ways, I believe that, no. The Feminist Act, or whatever you want to call it, kind of messed up relationship fundamentals in some ways. I feel like it imbalanced things, because a lot of men will say, okay then, if you want to be a feminist, I'm not going to do this then. You know, you want to be a feminist, then I won't do that then. Do it yourself. And what can you say? What can you say? So yeah, I'm not a feminist. I'm far from a feminist. I just believe that a man's a man, a woman's a woman. We both have our roles. And even me saying that, people are going to be like, what do you mean you have your roles? I believe in chivalry. I believe that a man should court a woman. I believe that a man should pull out a woman's chair. I believe that a man should open the door of a car for a woman. That is chivalry. But if I'm fighting for equal rights and feminism, that means that I'd open my own door, pull out my own chair. You got to pick your fight and decide what it is that you want when it comes to feminism. That's why I'm not a feminist. So next question. Oh, this is like the same thing. Do you believe that men and women are equal? Are men and women equal? I would say no, we're not equal. Because a man's a man, a woman's a woman. And a man is built differently to us. We've got 4 smaller frames, we're smaller. Men are built in larger frames to protect women. That's one of the reasons why they're built bigger, to protect women. We've got different genitalia. A man has different strength. I'm not saying that women can't do building jobs and stuff, but even if a woman does a job as a builder, her strength is limited, whereas a man will be able to lift a lot more than a woman could lift. So I feel like, no, men and women aren't equal. There's things that women can do that men can't do. Women are nurturing, women are more discerning, women are more in line with their intuition. Men are more logical. A lot of men don't feed into intuition. They take things at face value. So that question says, do I see men and women as equal? I don't see them as equal. I don't see them as the same, because I feel like they both have different strengths. They both have different strengths, so we're not equal. Like, equal is when something's at the same level, but we're not. Women's strength has higher strengths in one thing, men has higher strength in other things, and physically men will always be stronger than women. I think that mentally women are stronger than men. So no, we're not equal. But I believe that the way that we are made, and that's two human beings that have put in the work, put in the physical work, the mental work. I feel like when they come together, they fit together perfectly like a jigsaw. I feel like God gave men certain strengths, women certain strengths. So when they come together, there's a balance. Because where a man lacks, she's got that strength in that part. Where a woman lacks, a man has his strength in where she lacks. Just like the female and male genitalia, how we reproduce, how our bodies go together. I think it's perfect. I think that God makes us perfectly to come together like a jigsaw almost. So, even though we're not equal, I feel like we balance each other out. We do balance each other out. So yeah, I don't think women are equal, and I don't say that in a bad way, because I feel like both have strengths in different ways. Do you believe in a woman being submissive? Yes, I do believe that a woman should be submissive in a relationship to a certain extent though, and in certain situations. I don't think a woman should be submissive to a man who doesn't have his shit together. I don't think a man should ask a woman to submit to him if he doesn't have all of his ducks in a row, if he can't look after her, if he can't provide for her, and if he can't protect her. When you submit to a man, you are trusting him to protect you, to love you, to provide for you, to to do all these things. So if I'm submitting to a man and he doesn't have all these things sorted in his life, then what am I submitting to? I can't trust him to protect me. I can't trust him to provide for me. If I go out and I'm in trouble, I can't call on him to come and protect me. So why would I submit to him? You submit to a man who is whole. You submit to a man who has done the work, who has put in the work. He's got to a point where he can say, yeah, I'm ready to take on a wife, because I know right this minute I can provide, protect, profess, and offer her all she needs as a woman. And in return, that woman will give him what he needs. I believe that when you submit to a man, a masculine man, you can be in your feminine as a woman. And when a man gives to you his masculine side, you will naturally do what you have to do as a woman, and because you'll be in your feminine. And I've mentioned that in a past video. So I do believe a woman should submit to a man, but to the right man, not just to any man. I can't just meet a man who doesn't have his life together, who is mentally weak, who hasn't done the work on himself, who's been through trauma and hasn't healed, who isn't working, who doesn't have an income, who can't protect me. Because what if I end up getting pregnant for him or something? What happens then? I'll be out on the street because he can't protect me. He can't provide. He can't protect our baby. He can't protect me. So I believe that a woman should submit to a man, but the right man. What do you love about yourself? I love that I am a woman who has done work on herself. I love that I'm a woman who isn't scared to take risks. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, and I'm not saying that some of the risks that I've taken haven't led to sleepless nights and having to start all over again in life at certain points. I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect, but them risks that I've taken have made me into the person I am now. I believe that when you push yourself and you take risks, and whether you fall or whether you get through it, you will always come out a stronger and better person. I have done so many things that a lot of people haven't done or would wish they could do. So I love that I'm a go-getter. I love that I get up and go. I love that I've done a lot of learning and soul searching, and I love that I've got a strong intuition, because I feel like I grew up in a household my dad was Rastafarian, but we were also Christian, because Rastafarianism is built on Christianity. So I grew up in that sort of household, and I grew up with a conscience because of Christianity. I grew up with certain kind of attributes that I have now is based on how I grew up. And as I've got older, I've looked into other things and I've got to understand myself as a person. I've got to know God in my own personal way. And one thing I love about myself is that my relationship with God is my relationship with God. It's not based on what I've been told. It's not based on what the world has been told or what the world believes that religion should be. I've built my beliefs and stuff on my own personal journey with God, my own personal journey, and that's been built through intuition. It's been built through discernment and stuff like that. I believe that I have a good relationship with the Most High, and I'm thankful for that. I am thankful for that, because a lot of people, when it comes to religion and spirituality, a lot of people don't have their own minds. They just follow what they've been taught. And what I realise in this world is that a lot of our beliefs are built on tradition. It was tradition. Christianity was a tradition in my family. It got passed on down generations. So because it's a tradition, people believe that that's it now, not knowing that traditions can be broken. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to break tradition. They just do things because it's something that they've been doing or it's been in their family forever, not realising that you can question things. And one thing with me, I do question things. I don't just take everything that people give me. It has to feel right to me. So I feel like that's one thing I love about myself, is that I'm discerning. I don't listen to what people say. I don't follow the crowd. I do what feels best for me. That's one thing I do love about myself. If you could go back to your 20s, what would you change? If I could go back to my 20s, I would change a lot. If I could go back to my 20s, I'd save a lot more. I wouldn't have spent as much. I wouldn't have partied as much. I would have invested more. I would have bought a house and invested in property from a young age. And I wouldn't have had boyfriends. Yeah, I would have just given men a miss in my 20s. Obviously, when you're in your 20s, you're getting to know yourself, and 20s is a time of learning you. It's a time of growing. It's a time of mistakes. And I feel depending on how you was growing up within your household makes a massive difference to how your 20s went. I grew up in a household where I lived in a council house. My mum worked like a normal 9 to 5 and stuff like that. I didn't really have that. Parents that, they'd say to you, go to university, but no, they didn't go to university, so they didn't know how to go about going to university. They didn't buy a house. So certain things I didn't really know about in my 20s. I didn't know about buying a house in my 20s. It wasn't something that was spoken about in my family, because I don't think anybody at that point in my family had bought a house. So if I could go back to my 20s, I'd do things like that. I would buy a house. I would invest more. I'd do less partying, and yeah, I'd just save a lot more. But to be honest, I don't regret, because I feel like I learned a lot as well. I feel like I had a lot of experiences. I travelled a lot. When I was in my 20s, I would travel I travelled like 3 times a year. I was living a carefree life, just travelling. So I wouldn't say I regretted it, or I regret it, but I could have just been a bit more in my purpose. But I suppose at that point, I didn't really know what my purpose was, to be honest. Probably didn't know what my purpose was at that time. But I feel like the 20s should be years of exploring, but I feel like if you can lay foundations in your 20s, then do it. And I don't feel like, being the age I am now, I don't think it's all done, because I feel like at this point now, I know exactly what I want. It would have been better if I had certain investments at a younger age, but it's never too late. Most millionaires become millionaires in their 40s. So I don't believe that, I'm not kicking myself for not doing certain things, but if I could turn back the hands of time and went back to my 20s, I'd save a lot more and I'd invest in property, 100%. What's one of my favourite achievements? I think my achievements are to do with travel and living abroad. I think that one of my biggest achievements is moving to Ghana. I feel like I always wanted to move out of England, and I did it. And even though there's been setbacks within that time, I feel like I've learned a lot and I've experienced so much. Like, not a lot of people can say that they've got a network or they've got friends in another country, or they've got, they've got a, like, I go to the gym in Ghana, here in Accra, and it's my local gym in Accra. That's my local gym, and I've got friends there, and I can't explain. It's just it's a nice feeling to feel like I go back to England, I've got my friends there, I've got my gym there, I've got my locals there, but then I come to Ghana and I have that same thing in this country, another country, like 6 hours away from England in Africa. So I feel like one of my biggest achievements is moving from England and having the guts to do it, because there's so many people want to do it and they don't. And I feel like living in another country, sometimes I sit here, I'm like, I'm actually on the continent of Africa. I'm on the continent. I'm not in the UK, I'm on the continent. So yeah, I think that's one of my biggest achievements, moving to Africa. Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? Where I'm going to be in the next 5 years, I'm going to be living in the house of my dreams. I'm going to be driving a Bentley Continental. I'm going to have my property portfolio. I'm going to have a few million in the bank, and I'm going to be married with maybe 2 children. That's where I'm going to be in the next 5 years. That's where I want to be. They're my main aim. I just want to have the house of my dreams. I want to be comfortable. I want to have the car that I've always dreamed of, which is the Bentley Continental. I want to have a property portfolio. I want to have children, be married, and have a few million in the bank, and just be living, just be enjoying life. Like, life is for enjoying. I swear, life is for enjoying. It's for enjoying. So work hard now and rest later. That's what I say. And I'm on a journey now of working hard. Like, I am going to succeed. My YouTube channel is going to be one of the biggest YouTube channels in the world. That's what I'm aiming at. Seriously, I'm not settling for less anymore. I'm not settling for less. So in the next 5 years, on this day, August the 4th, on August the 4th, 2028, I want to go back to this video. I am decreeing and declaring it. All them things I've just mentioned, I'm decreeing and declaring it. That's where I'm going to be in the next 5 years. And the last question, how do you stay productive? You know what, for me, productivity is about planning. I feel like when you want to be productive, you have to plan. You have to plan. You have to plan your day. You have to plan your week. You have to plan your month. That's when you're productive. Like this week, I've been so productive. I've written an ebook. I've recorded 3 YouTube videos. I've done reels. What else have I done this week? I've written YouTube scripts. Yeah, I've done a lot this week, and that's down to planning. When you want to be productive, you have to plan. You have to write things down. Get a journal. I bought a life planner. Actually, I'm going to show it to you. I bought this life planner, legend planner, on Amazon. It was £25, and it's amazing. You can write down like your dreams. It says like my dreams. You can list 100 dreams, and then you put down your awareness of and self-discovery. What's your most important life questions? What scares you the most? You write down things like that. Then your journey, what you want, like your current situation in health, your vision, why you want it, and your strategy. Then it goes into your vision, your mission. You can write your mission statement. You know, your daily rituals, your habits, your goals, your tactics, your 3 months goals, and all that stuff. And then it's got a daily planner as well. Your notes, it's got so much. So get one of these. So recently I've just thought, you know what, because I'm so determined to get where I want to be, I've had to plan. Like, I've even had to take a step back, but to be productive, I believe that, you know, it's just about planning and just waking up early, having a routine, having a morning routine, setting your alarm to like 5 a.m, waking up, doing your meditations, doing your affirmations. Once you've done them, you know, making your first cup of tea, having that, listen to some affirmations, and then get on with your day. Go to the gym. Once you've got all that, once you've got a routine, you are productive. I find myself more productive when I've got a routine. When I don't have a routine, productivity goes out the window. So make sure you plan. Get a planner like this. And if you don't like written planners, get a digital planner, something like Notion or something. But this is what I've got. So yes, that is the end of the questions, I think. Yeah, I think there was 8 questions. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will do questions and answers every few months just to kind of see where your head's at, what you want to hear from me, what you want to find out, what you want me to do, what you want me to record and stuff like that. But I hope you're enjoying the channel, and let me know what you want me to do videos on. What do you want? Because this channel is about you. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and tell your mom, auntie, niece, gran, cousin and everybody that you know to watch this video and to subscribe to the channel, The Diary of Naomi. Anyway, bye for now. Mwah.